Hi there. Thanks for stopping by. I wanted to come to you today and talk to you about something that I've tried to do 3 times. This is my third or fourth attempt at it. And I either get interrupted in the video or I make it and then, I don't know, it doesn't get posted, it gets lost. I don't know. So I'm here to talk about my curly hair, how I discovered I have curly hair, and the kind of the processes that I went through. And while I'm at it, I thought I'd also talk to you about my change in hair color. Because for those of you that know me, and if you don't know me, check out my Facebook page. I'm on there, Connie Norleen, and you can see my past and the color that my hair was before. But my hair was brown, and it was straight, and I always had bangs. And I just didn't know how to do my hair without bangs. I always had done the bangs. So I remember having a conversation in a group one time with some ladies, and we were talking about to go gray or not to go gray. And it was a big decision, a big discussion, and it's a tough decision to make whether to do that or not and how to go about doing it. So I don't know if this is gray or blonde gray or what it is. It's not natural. I did enhance it. But let's talk about the curly hair. And I want to give you the idea how I found out I had it and then talk about my process of how I take care of it and the cutting. So last fall, my daughter was over and I had just stepped out of the shower and I was complaining that my hair is always knotted in the back. And so I had it up in one of those turban towels, which I used to do all the time. And she looked at it and she said, "Mom, your hair is not knotted. It's curly." And I said, "No, that can't be." She said, "No, you have curly hair." So she worked with me and kind of, was having me try out some products. And so I started with a little bit of curl, not a whole lot. And we just kind of worked through some things. So she had me go to a hair salon that had someone there that would cut a haircut specifically for curly hair. And it was called a wee dod cut. And I think that's called QUI, wee dod, D-O-D. QUI, D-O-D. I believe that's how it's spelled. And so we went to this guy, found him, and he gave me the wee dod haircut. And so Debbie had me using the wee dod line of products. We'd use some other things trying to save me money, and then she's like, "You just got to go wee dod." So I did. And I had some complications with it. It really didn't give us the best results that we wanted. I was getting curly, and I liked that. It just wasn't at its best. So she's a researcher and she's always looking for the next best thing. And so she found a product line that I started using and I really got hooked on. She has since gone on and found something else. And so she's using part of what I'm using and part of a new line that she's using. One of the things with curly hair is everybody's hair is different. The curl turns out different. The texture is different. So it's all different, and you kind of have to find out what works for you. The other thing I found out with curly hair is that I'm a perfectionist, and I cannot be a perfectionist with my hair. You see that little piece right there that just keeps going, hello? I want that to be in its place. But curly hair has a mind of its own, and it's going to go where it wants to go. You can help it somewhat, but it's going to go where it wants to go. See how it's kind of sticking out right there, different pieces. It's just not perfect, but that's what makes it curly hair. And I love it. I'm so excited with it. It takes a lot of work the first day I do it, and then I can go 3 to 4 days, and all I have to do is touch it up. Usually about 4 days between shampoos. That's pretty good. My hair isn't oily, so I don't have that issue. If I had oily hair, I might have to do it more often. I don't know. So that's what works for me. So I'm going to kind of go through for you the products that I use and how I use them, and just how I treat my hair. So I hope that it gives you some insight. I had a gal from church last week ask me what I put on my hair to get this. Well, it's more than just what you put on it. It's what you do with it. And so I went looking for the video to send to her, and I couldn't find it. And that's what prompted this video. So before I get into the curly hair, the other thing with the gray, when I went to this hairdresser, the back of my hair underneath is practically all still brown. But a lot of this has a lot of gray and a lot of brown in it. So he came up with an idea. I don't know what colors he uses, but it's to me, it's kind of a blonde gray. It's not gray, it's not blonde. I guess it's gray, I don't know. But I like it a lot, and I'm really happy with the transition. And it went fairly smoothly. It was pretty quick. It didn't take long at all, and I really like it a lot. The other thing is that I only have to have the color touched up every 3 months. And when I had my brown hair, again, I had to go in every 6 weeks to color up the gray. And so now it's like once every 3 months, and I could probably go longer. But the cut begins to bother me if I go longer than 3 months. So I try to go 2.5 to 3 months. That's what I do. So I'll show you the line that we ended up with. I've got a bunch of stuff sitting over here in the chair, so I'm going to lean over and get it periodically and kind of show you. So I'm going to do that. The first 2 products are the shampoo and conditioner, of course. And so this is the color, the line of products is called Wow. W-O-W. No matter which way you look at it, up or down, it's Wow. And it's it says Color Wow. In the little circle, it says Color Wow, and then the big Wow. So that's the name of the line of all of the products that I'm using. So I use the, I should have brought glasses in, shoot. I use the Color Security Shampoo, and I use the Color Security Conditioner. And so I shampoo it. And the other thing when you shampoo your hair with curly hair is that you don't go in and just mess it up like this. You just kind of work it gently like this all through it. You don't mess up your hair because that just makes it knotted. And if it's curly hair, it knots up really bad. So you don't want to do that. And then when I get all the shampoo out, I put the conditioner in, and I leave the conditioner in while I shower and whatever else I'm doing, shaving and so on, in the shower. So that's my shampoo and my conditioner. Then when I get out of the shower, oh, the other thing, when I turn the water off, Debbie cut up a bunch of pieces of t-shirt for me. Just different little things of t-shirts, little squares. And so when I get out of the shower, I take I don't towel dry my hair at all. So actually I'm still in the shower when I do this. And I take a t-shirt and I lean my head over like this, and I take and I kind of scrunch it up like this. And like this. And scrunch the water out of it. And I usually, one side fills up one t-shirt. So then I get the other t-shirt and I'll do the other side. And I scrunch it up like that. I get the back. And then I dry my body. And then it's the wet from here is starting to drip down. The idea is that you don't want your hair as dry as you normally think you do. It needs to be pretty wet. So before I get out of the shower, if it's dripping anymore, I'll take another one and I'll go back and I'll kind of get rid of the drips, but I leave it wet. Okay, does that make sense, I hope? So that's the shampoo and conditioner and the t-shirts. And then when I get out of the shower, there's 3 products that I use, and they're kind of over on the side, so I'm going to lean over and get those right now. So there's 3 products here. And I shake them all up before I use them. And the first one I use is it's Wow. And it's called Carb Cocktail. And it's written like a purple. Carb Cocktail. And I shake this up. And I put some in the palm of my hand. And through process of how I've done this, what I end up with now is I put some in the palm of my hand and I separate my hair and I really make sure it gets in all of my hair. I put in a little more and I make sure that it gets at the roots all over, okay? And then I do the same thing on the other side and then the same thing in the back. So that's the first step. So it's carb cocktail. And then the second step that I do, remember I said that the back always seems to be knotted? Well, there's no oil in my hair, hardly at all anymore. I am 76. So the back of my hair gets drier and more knotted, tangled, more than not, just tangled. And so my daughter suggested I use this. Again, I shake it up before I use it. And it's Wow. And it's called Dream Cocktail and coconut infused. Oh my gosh, does it smell good. So I pump about 3 pumps of this in and it comes in a smaller one. This is the bigger one, but I started out with the smaller one and now I have the bigger one and it's just a pump. You pump 3 pumps on it about. And I put it in the back of my hair all over. I make sure and get the ends. I get the roots. And then what's left, I kind of just bring in the sides of my hair. And what it does is it makes it so much softer. Now, if I put that all over, then it's too soft here and it doesn't give me as much curl as I need. So that's kind of how I've had to learn to work with my hair. It's a lot of work to figure it out. But I promise you, it's so much easier and it's so much fun and it's easier to take care of now that I know how to do it. I did go through a process. I went through a time. But, you know, if you want to do it, give it a try and do it when you're not going anywhere. Get a couple of the products. You know, if you want to use your shampoo and conditioner, get a couple of these others. You know, maybe just try the carb cocktail. Just try that one. Or if you want really soft hair, do the Dream Cocktail with the coconut infused in it. Maybe just try one. And then if you think you see something happening and you need a little extra help, get a different one. Now I'll tell you the third product that I use, and I definitely recommend this one. In fact, my hairdresser doesn't use anything but this one because he uses the same line, coincidentally. We didn't know that when we went in. And so this really puts the curl in the hair. I'm just going to say it really does. It's Wow, comes in a pump, and it's called Dream Coat for Curly Hair. And so it's a Dream Coat. And so it's a square bottle, and you hold it like this. And again, you get it all over the hair. So you want it on the roots, you want it under here, and it has a long spray. And so I get it out like this, and I spray all the way to the end. And then I'll go back a little bit and I'll spray all the way to the end. And then I separate it and I come back here. And I spray all the way, and you just hold down the sprayer and it just keeps spraying. And I spray all the way to the end. Make sure that you and then I kind of do this, I cup the ends and I spray them again. And make sure that I get the ends good and wet with this. And I do that all over my head. Now what I didn't bring in for you was my hairdryer. So my hairdryer, I forgot it. So my hairdryer has a diffuser on it. So that's the product line that I use to get ready to create the curl. And so then when I went to the hairdresser, you know, he has me lay back over this thing and put my hair way back. And he took this blow dryer and he just held it there for the longest time and made the most beautiful curls. Well, you can't do that on your own. You just can't. It's impossible. So what I have done, I found that works for me, is I kind of take my fingers like this and I pull up. You see how it separates? So I pull up this first half and I take the diffuser and I kind of do this. I make sure everything gets in the diffuser and I pull it up like that. Now the trick that I learned, and I didn't know this in the beginning, my daughter didn't remember to tell me everything at once, is when it's in the diffuser like that, I count to 20. So I do 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000. And the counting to 20 really made a difference. So then I take that piece out, and then I take the diffuser again, I lean it over, and I catch this part. And I put it up like that. Put it right up against my head, and I count to 20. And I do that a couple of times, and it's still wet, but it's not so soaking wet anymore. So then I come over and do the same thing here, and then I kind of go back and forth, and I get it 3/4 of the way dry. And then I start on the back, and I do the same thing. I pull up the first half, and I take my diffuser and just lay it against my head and count to 20. Then, before I let that down, I grab the bottom half, and I take the diffuser on the bottom half, and I count to 20. So then I do that a few times back and forth. And basically, for me, and this is in the summer months, the winter might be different. I might want to dry it completely in the winter. And so I get it about 3/4 dry. You can dry it all the way if you want to. And day one is kind of a weird kind of curl for me. It's tight and it's just different. But I go with it. And then I usually try to make sure that's not a day when I'm going to be out and have a lot to do. And a lot of times, like for my part, I will take a clip. I'll pull this up and I'll take a clip and I'll kind of clip it to encourage the hair to stand up. It stands up for a little while, but it's going to fall. It just does. And then you have to decide which side you're going to part on, of course. So that's kind of my process for that. Now, now we're at the first night. So that's all I did the first day. That's everything I did. Then that night, before I go to bed, I take a scrunchie, and you want to make sure that it's not a real tight one, okay? And I take the scrunchie, and I pull all of this up into a high ponytail because I'm going to sleep in that ponytail. And I put the scrunchie around the ponytail, like that. Some of it falls down, that's okay. And then you can leave this, or you can take little clippies like these, and you can just kind of pull it up out of the way and clip it. Or this tends to straighten my bang totally, but I have some of these, and sometimes I'll just pull that back like that and clip it. And that's how I go to bed, okay? Then in the morning, when I get up and I get ready, I do my face, and then I take the clippy out. Then I take the scrunchie out, and then I'm going to do this for you. I turn my head upside down, and I fluff it gently. And then when I come back, I put my hands over the top of it, and I lift it. I don't throw it, I lift it. And you see how it just falls into, that's what it does. I sleep with it overnight, I get up, and that's all I do to it. And look at the curl. And some days are better than others, but it lasts me for about 4 days. Now there's if you have to keep any of it, if you just can't stand it and is in the way, or sometimes the bangs are too far down or whatever, you can use a hairspray, but stick with the same line. So I use the Color Wow hairspray, and I don't use very much of it. If really mostly on my top, if it happens to be flyaway or the bangs are down in my face and I can't control it. You see how it just fell? I didn't do anything to it, it just fell. It's perfect. No hairspray, no nothing. Some days I have to do a little of this, but it's very little and mostly just right here. The rest of it is just free on its own. So that's that. I always use a big mirror to check the back of my hair and make sure that, again, it's not going to look all in place because it's curly hair. But I just want to make sure that there's no bald spots or anything back there, which we tend to get. So that's that. And then I wanted to tell you, sometimes we need a little upkeep in between shampoos. And so I wanted to give you a couple of ideas on things you can do for that. One of the things is that you can take like the Color Wow with the coconut in it and put a little bit of it. You can get this spray bottle at Sally's because it's got a long spray on it. You hold this down and it just sprays a lot. You don't have to go squirt, squirt, squirt. It's got a really long spray on it. So I put a little bit of the conditioner in here, not very much, and I fill it up with water. And so then I will tip my head upside down and I will do some sprays. I don't want to soak it. I just want to dampen it to refresh it. So I'll put some sprays in it and then I will, while it's upside down, I'll kind of crunch it like that. And then again, I throw my hair back. I'm not just gently throw the hair back, come back up, and I'll scrunch it a little more. And then it's in place. The other thing is sometimes during the day, it may get a little flat for you. All you have to do is turn upside down like I just did. You couldn't see me upside down, but I turn upside down and I just scrunch it a little and then come back up, and you saw how much fuller it was. So that works. Something else that I've done, I was traveling and I knew that I wanted to make it through without shampooing it. And the products, I was doing carry-on and the products were all over 2 ounces. So I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? So I took the Dream Coat in the square bottle and I put some of it in a little 2-ounce bottle. And so then when I got up in the morning and took my hair out, when I was all ready and I took my hair out of my scrunchie, I would have it upside down and I put a little of this in my hand, rub my hands together, and I would scrunch it in my hair. And it just picked it right back up. So those are a couple of little secrets that work. And then where's my best one? This is my best one. This is, for me, it's the secret of all secrets. Now I will tell you, my daughter, she has different texture curly hair, and she can't use this product. So this works for me. And it's not cheap. Oh my gosh, I found out how much this stuff was. Woo! But it really is a miracle worker for my hair in refreshing it and reviving it. So I don't use it often. I don't use it all the time, and I don't use very much of it. But it works wonders. And it's called CC Cream. I don't know if you can see that. I'll read it for you. The name of the line is Caviar, C-A-V-I-E-R. And it's Replenishing Moisture CC Cream. And so what I do is I squirt a little bit in the palm of my hand. And again, I put my head upside down. And I do all of my ends. And then I do a little bit on the rest of the hair and the scalp so that I get everything a little more moist. It's kind of the same thing, you're refreshing it. But that particular one adds to my color. It refreshes the color, the curl, the fullness. It's just a miracle worker for me. And so that's a product that I will use like on day 3 or day 4. To just freshen it back up and make it look like it's day 1, perfect hair. So those are my tips that I can think of. If you see this in YouTube and you have any questions or any comments or any ideas, you can put them in the comment section below, please. And if I've sent this to you personally and you have any questions, you can call me or text me or whatever you want to do to ask me anything particular. I hope that if you think you have curly hair that you will give this a try, because I know that if you can have the patience to take the time. It took me about 6 months to get where I am right now. I liked what I had, and I had curly hair, but I went through a bunch of products before I got to here. This is a great line, and if you start here, I think you'll be happy with it. And you can get them off of Amazon. That's where we got the products. And it is tested products. They're safe from Amazon. They're not secondhand or somebody tried to copy it. And so give it a try. And I'd love to have you come back and comment below and tell me how it worked for you. All right? Thanks for watching. Thanks for coming by. And I just love every one of you that watch this information and my fun videos that I do. And I have so much fun doing them. And I just want to remind you that if nobody else tells you today, just remember I love you. Okay? Thanks for stopping by. Have a great day. Bye for now.